Why do so many people on Reddit enjoy kicking people when they're down? A lot of people are terrible. I was on a local Facebook page for a while. And people can turn anything into a negative. You could say that the sky looked beautiful today. And they'd find some way to attack you for it. The people of Reddit are no different. Some people just want to bring people down to their level of misery. Some are just plain dicks with no reason for doing it. I try to avoid social media now because of this. Unless I know a group is filled with good people. People treat their own issues in many different ways. Some wallow. Some lash out. The lash out people find a good target in others. They just don't know how to deal with their own issues and unfortunately take that out on everyone else. For your own mental health, don't engage and try to view those hateful comments for what they are. Desperate cries of intense unhappiness. I don't think it's that people are enjoying kicking people when they're down. I'm sure there are some people doing that. I think it's more that you're just getting unfiltered opinions because it's an anonymous social media platform. People end up responding to things that they normally wouldn't in real life. It's really projection at its finest. Lots of times, many of these individuals were kicked when they were down. Therefore, no one cared when it was me. Life is tough. They feel hurt. That's on them. Will justify it for them. Others have never been held accountable for putting others down, or have come across the wrong, right person. Those that will, well, physically put them in their place. Not justifying or condoning this BTW. And I'm sure those that aren't projecting were possibly raised, again, never being held accountable. You got in trouble for tripping Johnny at school today. Well, what did he do to start it? These parents will find anything deserving or logical enough for their child's inappropriate reaction. Sure, all of the above are assumptions. Not nearly enough to cover for every person that behaves, thinks the way they do. I feel like it's close enough for the majority. I ultimately feel bad for them. In the least pretentious way. They don't have my pity either. They know deep down inside something is wrong with them. And there are wounds needing to be addressed and healed. But continue bandaging it all up. Using other human beings and their emotions. Especially nowadays. Where they get to hide behind four walls. Hiding their cards intentionally. So, no one can ask them where they feel they have the right to put others down. This question shouldn't even offend them on a personal level. But being so painfully miserable and insecure, it would stick to them all week. Likely months. Everyone in their surrounding circles would have to hear about it. Unfortunately. Lol, anyone ever dealt with, been emotionally abused by with a covert narc? Even the overt ones. It's being picked on. Till you're not even running on fumes anymore. Best believe, they'll still demand emotional reactions from you. Negative or positive reactions from others. To them, hold no difference. It all fills the unrealistic supply cup with a hole in the bottom. All the same. No, I don't believe everyone like this has a personality disorder whatsoever. Although, it doesn't mean they don't have one too many traits. Seeing as NPD is on a spectrum, wouldn't be surprised in the least to find out many of them would be on the lower, red, side of the spectrum. Having enough traits, at least enough, that says, holy, please get therapy. When hell freezes over, is when this would occur. Just saying. Just ranting and rambling now. Really. Lol, let those of us all, with self-awareness and empathy, be thankful for both, more than ever. TBF. There is also a lot of positive talk surrounding mental health and personal struggles. This sub in particular has the full binary spread from hate-filled rant to heartfelt advice. So it really can depend. That being said, the anonymity of the internet allows for people to easily rant and hate without suffering any consequences. And people wanting a situation like that seek it out. A lot of it is projecting of insecurities of their own lives. Which once one starts seeing that, it gets easier to downvote and move on. But I get ya. Even a stranger's words can hurt. There is one clear answer: misery loves company. That is a big part of why those who do it to people that are down usually are not doing that well themselves. They are also usually not open to looking outside of the box. Some people need a kick in the ass. Some need a hug. Some are self-aware. Some are entitled crybabies. If you're going to publicly air your problems, you have to expect all kinds of reactions. I go to a lot of AA meetings and the suggestion is generally, take what you need and let the rest go. Depending on the sub. But there are plenty of assholes just harvesting the hate everywhere. Pretty much sitting there like the emperor. Interlocking the fingers and cackling. Personally, I see a lot more positivity instead. But, the hollow kind. Like when complaining about depression, go, it'll get better. Who does that help exactly? It's the world we live in today. As the world's burning underneath our set, people much rather judge than listen. Egos matter more. It's not people on Reddit, just people. It's happened to me a fair few times on here as well. Literally had someone have a go at me, telling me it was my fault that my ex ghosted me and went back to China without saying anything. As if it was unreasonable to expect them to communicate this to me in literally any way at all, rather than just disappearing. For a lot of people on here, being a dick to someone on Reddit is probably the one time in their life where they actually get to feel superior and talk down to someone from behind the safety and relative anonymity of a keyboard. It's pathetic, really. The world is filled with miserable people and the internet gives us access to them and gives them anonymity. It's sad to say, but it is partially because it is easy. Some people are negative people and feel better from kicking someone down. Now who is easier to hurt and kick? Someone who you know something they are insecure about already, don't have to deal with in real life, and the person is already down. Or someone who is not down and will have an easier time ignoring it or just dealing with the negativity in general. Also, people who are closer to a breaking point are more likely to give a reaction from what I've seen, which is something that shitty people look for. Though that happens everywhere in the world and in all communities, not just on Reddit. Here's a question, bud. You're in a cafe and you ask the waiter what kind of soup they serve. A mentally ill stanger butts in to call you a retarded cunt who deserves death. What is your reaction? You'd probably walk away from the obviously deranged psycho. Knowing this isn't normal human behavior. So why pretend a bunch of sock puppet anon karma farmers on a heavily censored encourages the worst shit website are somehow real human behavior? Reddit is fun, but it's a load of bullshit. Have fun and don't take any of it too seriously. It's literally an echo chamber designed to insensitivize and underscore the very worst sociopathic appeal to popularity nonsense. If you ever look at your karma score and think it means something, you need to delete your account. That must be frustrating to receive those sorts of responses. I may not help much with my own response. Give yourself some time and space mentally. If you know how, count to 10 and breathe between the numbers. Practice your own patience, and this is important to do when you start to feel anxious. Easier said than done. I understand. Just practice though. Soon receiving those responses will touch you less and less. Just give yourself some space. And then give them a response if you even want to. You choose who deserves your response. IDK I'm sorry. This is just how I overcame that same feeling you're portraying here. Have faith in yourself and give yourself mental space. I'm really sorry that happened to you. The same has happened to me too. Once I posted about having issues with my family. All the comments were, "Stop whining. People have lost their families due to COVID. You should suck it up and be grateful you're with them." Which really came out of nowhere. I found that Reddit is really just a horrible place to ever vent. It's a social media app that attracts the most lonely, sad people. And the even sadder, lonelier people usually are the ones to tend to comment. As a result, you get a lot of insensitive tone-deaf responses to things very personal. Another reason is also that it attracts a lot of people in very bad places in life. So when they see someone else having problems, their knee-jerk response is often, "This person has it so much better than me." They need to shut the hell up about whatever is making them sad. I've gotten those types of comments too. And also, this last reason may be more unpopular, but I feel like a lot of people on Reddit participate in pseudo-intellectualism. I think that's the word? This app is more discussion-based than other social media. So I think that leads to people thinking that they're smarter or more intelligent for being on here. And a lot of that pseudo-intellectualism really plays in with people pretending to understand your problems when they really don't. It leads them to comment a lot of fake deep things to feel better about themselves. Such as when those comments said, "Well, it's probably your fault. You need to see it from both sides," when you did not even explain the situation with your friend at all. Most people on here are just either hurt, sad, bitter, lonely, and frustrated. Usually all at once. I'm sorry you got treated that way. It's hard to get support for nuanced things on here. In my experience. My chats are always open if you feel the need to talk to someone.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.